Hey guys, it's Krishanti with Krishanti.com, bringing you weekly videos about psychic development and spiritual and personal growth, and sometimes relationships. And this is one of those relationships videos tied in with energy healing. And what's very fascinating that I'm sure you've heard about, and if not, I'll talk about it here, is when you're really connected to somebody, you can inadvertently form what we call cords of attachment. And these are like energy cords, like threads, or like an actual cord that connect you energetically to another person. And I've talked about this a lot recently, this program I created called Get Him Off Your Mind in 28 days for women who are unfortunately like caught up in thinking too much about a guy who's not returning their affection. And what I discovered in creating this program and working with people over the years is that when you're really into someone, whether or not they reciprocate, you can form a bond or a cord that keeps you sort of thinking about them too much and kind of keeps them in your energy field, in your field of awareness when they're not good for you and they don't need to be there. So people they teach this and they've written books about it, the whole cord cutting thing. What I put into the Get 'Em Off Your Mind program, what I work on with clients is doing cord cutting. Everyone has their own way, and I have my own specific way that I'm not going to get into in this video. I just want to talk about what happens when you do cut these cords. Anyway, but usually when you do, the person starts to feel a sense of relief, the person who's working with the energy healer. What's very fascinating is even people that aren't all that schooled in like energy work and the psychic phenomena and all that, when I say, do you want me to cut the cords between the two of you, sometimes they're like, I'm not ready. Like they know what that means. And they're very honest about, how they don't want to do that. Now, here's something really fascinating is when I'm in a session with somebody, and anyone that does what I do, probably this happens, when you're in a session with somebody and you're working with them and you help them to detach and you help them to cut those cords and to break away from that other person that's causing them harm, or or even if they're not doing anything and just thinking about them is causing them harm, that other person very often senses that on an energy level. And what has happened time and time again is the minute we get off the phone, that person texts, emails, calls, they sense it. And that can be both good and bad if you're looking to totally detach. Like it's good if that person doesn't connect to you. And oftentimes, of course, that doesn't happen as well, especially if you've never even communicated with them and, that you have this kind of thing going where you can't stop thinking about them. A couple of stories I want to share with you that are really cool and interesting is one, a girl I was training in my clairvoyant training program was really thinking about this guy, and it was fun, but then she's like, I need to stop because this is not healthy. So we did the cord cutting and kind of just detaching from him so she could have her energy back and her peace of mind back. And he texted like right away, like right after. It was so crazy. Like, how funny is that? Like right away. Now, I don't know, that was a few years ago now, so I don't know whether or not they actually embarked on a relationship or in a relationship or whatever happened, but we thought that was crazy. That like, oh my God, we did that. And then he texted like right away. A really wonderful example of this that I really absolutely love is from somebody that took the Get 'Em Off Your Mind program. I have to have a caveat here, or say my little caveat warning. This doesn't always happen. This is just one of those special stories, but she did the program. I have to fix my shirt here a little bit. She did the program and did all the steps, the 28 days, did all the energy techniques and everything. And then she detached from the guy and she brought all her energy back to herself. And then she went on a trip to Italy by herself or without him. He actually ended up following her there, found her there, met her there, and proposed. And they got married. And I think that is the coolest. Like, it was like too much. She's like, this isn't working. I got to stop. She pulls her energy back, and he has this aha moment like, wait, oh my God, you're the one I want. I'm coming. And I wish every story was that happy, but that's what can happen when you bring your energy back. And even if that wonderful happily ever after thing doesn't happen, the great thing is that you're calling your power back to yourself. You're grounding into your own energy, and you're not thinking about that person anymore to your detriment. And that's where cord cutting works at its absolute best. And of course, it does work with many different relationships in the workplace, whatever. But what I found it to be most helpful with is in these romantic encounters where you don't know the person, and they come into your life and then they like overwhelm you, or the connection isn't positive and you need to break it and come back to yourself. So that's cord cutting in a nutshell. And for more info on Get 'Em Off Your Mind, I'll put it down below if you're watching this on YouTube in the little description box. But that's all for this week. We do a new video every week, so if you're interested, just hit the little notification bell. I'll let you know when I upload, which is usually Wednesdays. And you can subscribe too if you'd like. And I think that's it. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.